You wake up, and the first thought is not hope. It is not fear either. It is that quiet question you never say out loud. Why does it feel like nothing is moving? You get up. You do what you are supposed to do. You keep showing up. You keep believing. You keep praying. Yet deep inside, there is a pressure, a sense that you are stuck, a feeling that you are somehow behind. And the hardest part is this: nothing looks obviously wrong. Your life is not falling apart. You are not rebelling. You are not giving up on God, yet progress feels slow, answers feel delayed, and you quietly wonder if you did something wrong. God says, listen carefully now. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. And if you stay with me until the end of this message, you will understand why this season feels the way it does, and why leaving early would cause you to misread what I am doing. This message is not for everyone. It is for the one who keeps asking silently, why am I doing everything right, but nothing is opening yet? You did not click this by accident. You did not arrive here randomly. At 11:11, patterns pause, noise lowers, and truth surfaces without force. You have been interpreting delay as rejection, silence as absence, and slowness as failure. But what if that belief is wrong? What if the very thing you think proves God is distant is actually proof that He is close and precise? This is where many people misunderstand me. They believe punishment looks like hardship, but positioning often looks like waiting. They believe correction looks like loss, but preparation often looks like nothing happening at all. God says, what you are experiencing right now is not neglect, it is not discipline, and it is not abandonment. It is alignment happening beneath the surface. And alignment is quiet before it is visible. You are judging this season by what you can see. But most of what I do happens where your eyes cannot reach. You have noticed it, haven't you? Others seem to move faster. Doors open for them quickly. Paths appear clear for them. While your road feels narrow, slow, and intentionally limited. And that comparison has planted a dangerous thought in your mind. Maybe God is displeased with me, God says. That thought did not come from me, because when I punish, I correct openly, and when I position, I restrain quietly. There's a reason your life feels restricted right now, and it is not because you failed. It is because if I let you move freely, before you were ready, you would arrive early and break under weight you were not prepared to carry. This matters later. Remember this. What feels like slowness now is actually precision. What feels like delay is actually protection. But if I explain everything at once, you will miss the deeper reason behind it. So stay with me, because in the next part, I am going to reveal the first truth most people never understand about seasons like this, and why walking away now would cause you to repeat the same cycle again later. Do not rush past this moment. What you are feeling right now is the doorway, God says. There's a belief you have been carrying for a long time, and you never questioned it, because everyone around you lives by it. The belief is this: if God is pleased with me, things should move faster. You believe that blessing looks like speed, that favor looks like quick answers, that alignment looks like open doors everywhere. But hear me carefully now. That belief is comfortable, and that is why it feels true. But it is not accurate, because speed has never been my measure of approval. Many people move quickly and still move in the wrong direction. Many doors open fast and still lead to places that cost more than they give. And many paths look wide and easy, only because they require no depth to walk on them. God says, I do not rush what must last. When I am displeased, I correct loudly. When I am absent, there is chaos. But when I am positioning someone, there is quiet restraint. You feel held back without being harmed. You feel slowed without being stopped. You feel limited without being abandoned. That is not punishment. That is precision. This is why your season feels confusing. You expected discipline to look like pain, but it looks like waiting. You expected correction to look like loss, but it looks like restriction. And because this does not match your expectations, you assumed you did something wrong. God says, you did not do something wrong. You are simply being trusted with a longer view. People I plan to use deeply. I prepare quietly. People I plan to place visibly. I shape invisibly first. You are not being delayed because you lack faith. You are being slowed because you have depth. Depth requires structure, and structure cannot be rushed. This is why I did not let everything open at once. If I gave you access before stability, you would confuse opportunity with assignment. If I gave you speed before discernment, you would outrun wisdom. God says, there are seasons where I accelerate people quickly and seasons where I anchor people deeply. Right now, you are being anchored. Anchoring does not feel exciting. It feels heavy. It feels slow. It feels unnoticed. But anchors are not placed for movement. They are placed for storms. This matters later. Hold on to this truth. What you think is holding you back is what will keep you standing when pressure increases. This is why comparison has been dangerous for you lately. You see others moving faster, and you assume they are favored. But you do not see what they are skipping, what they are bypassing, what they are unprepared for. God says, do not measure your season against someone else's pace. Pace reveals nothing. About purpose, I move each life according to its weight. Light assignments move quickly. Heavy assignments move carefully. And I would not be careful with you if what I planned to place on your life was small. This is where many people walk away too early. They mistake positioning for rejection, and they step out of alignment trying to force progress. Then they wonder why they repeat the same lessons again later. God says, what you rush past now, you will have to rebuild later. So I slow you down on purpose, not to frustrate you, but to protect you from arriving early and breaking under responsibility. You are not being withheld from blessing. You are being preserved for it. And in the next part, I will reveal why this season feels heavier emotionally. Even though nothing dramatic is happening outwardly, this is the part most people never understand. And missing it causes them to doubt me unnecessarily. Stay with me. This is unfolding exactly as it should. God says, there is a reason this season feels heavier than others, even though nothing dramatic is happening around you. You are not imagining it, and you are not becoming weak. What you are feeling is the weight of internal construction. Most people think preparation looks busy, but the deepest preparation looks quiet. You are not being worked on outwardly. You are being reshaped inwardly, and inner work always feels heavier because it has no visible proof. You wake up and you cannot point to what changed, yet something inside you feels different. Your tolerance for noise has dropped. Your patience for shallow things has faded. Your desire for constant distraction has weakened, and you wonder why joy feels distant at times. God says, this is not sadness, this is separation. I am gently detaching you from what no longer matches where you are going. Detachment feels like loss before it feels like freedom, because the mind clings to familiarity, even when the spirit is ready to move on. This is why you feel emotionally heavier now. You are carrying awareness, not despair. You are sensing what no longer fits. Before you see where you are headed next, that gap between knowing what must end and not yet seeing what begins creates weight. Most people escape this feeling. They fill this silence quickly. They chase noise. They rush into new things to avoid the in-between. God says, I did not allow you to escape because escaping would delay your clarity. You are strong enough to sit with the in-between, and I trust you with it. This is why this season feels lonely at times. Even when you are not alone, your spirit is changing frequency, and not everyone can meet you there. This is not isolation. This is recalibration. When a signal shifts, static appears briefly. Do not mistake that static for disconnection. I am closer to you now than before. The heaviness you feel is not burden. It is depth forming. Depth requires space, and space feels empty before it feels full. This matters later. Remember this feeling. People who never experience this season often collapse when responsibility arrives. You are being strengthened quietly, so you do not fracture publicly. This is why your emotions feel exposed lately. You feel things more deeply. You react more slowly. You think more carefully. That is not weakness. That is maturity developing. God says, I am teaching you to carry weight without panic, because what is coming will require steadiness, not speed. You are learning to hold silence without filling it, to sit with discomfort without running, to trust without immediate confirmation. This is advanced training, even if it does not feel impressive. You are not being tested to see if you fail. You are being prepared so you do not. This is why I did not give you instant relief. Relief would remove the lesson too early. But I will not leave you here without understanding, because in the next part, I will show you how this emotional weight turns into stability, and why people who skip this phase struggle later. Do not disengage now. This is where clarity begins to form. God says, there is something else you have been quietly struggling with, even if you have not admitted it to yourself. You have been watching others move ahead, seeing doors open for them, watching progress happen around you, and without meaning to, you started measuring your life against theirs. You told yourself you were happy for them. You told yourself you were patient, but a question kept forming underneath. Why them and not me? God says, listen carefully now. Speed is not evidence of calling, and visibility is not proof of alignment. Many people move quickly because nothing is being asked of them yet. They are not being trusted with weight. They are not being prepared for pressure. They are not being shaped for longevity. Movement without depth feels exciting at first, but it collapses when responsibility arrives. I do not place people quickly when their future requires stability. You have been slowed not because you are lacking, but because you are being measured for consistency, measured for discernment, measured for endurance. These qualities do not develop in fast seasons. They develop in quiet ones. God says, I let others run ahead, because their path does not require reinforcement yet. But your path requires structure. Beneath it, this is why your road feels narrow, intentional, sometimes even frustrating. Narrow paths protect direction. Wide paths invite distraction. Do not envy someone who is not being restrained. Restraint is a sign of trust when I do not intervene. People confuse freedom with favor, but when I restrict, it is because I see what lies ahead. You are being positioned for something that will last, not something that will impress briefly. This is why comparison has been draining you. Comparison pulls you out of alignment, and alignment is where peace lives. Every time you measure yourself against someone else, you step out of your own timing. God says, your timing is not broken. Your timing is protected. If I released you too early, you would inherit expectations you are not meant to carry yet. If I elevated you too fast, you would attract pressure before you attract support. This is why I let your progress feel private. Privacy is not rejection. It is insulation. What grows in silence develops strength before exposure. This matters later. Remember this truth. Those who rush past this stage often spend years repairing damage they did not see coming. I am not delaying your life. I am reducing future regret. You are not missing opportunities. You are being spared from misaligned ones. And if you stay with me here, you will not have to undo what you build later in the next part. I will show you what begins to changeth moment you stop fighting this season and start cooperating with it. This is where peace starts to return. Stay here. You are closer than you think. God says there is a moment in every quiet season when the struggle is no longer outside. It is inside. The struggle is not about circumstances changing. It is about surrendering control. You have been trying to understand this season, to label it, to fix it, to move past it. But the shift does not begin when you understand. The shift begins when you stop resisting. Resistance does not always look like rebellion. Sometimes resistance looks like overthinking. Sometimes it looks like replaying conversations. Sometimes it looks like waiting for certainty before moving. God says the moment you stop fighting this season, something inside you softens, not weakness, softness. Your breathing changes. Your thoughts slow down. Your urgency fades. Not because answers arrived, but because alignment did. This is where peace first returns. Not as excitement, not as celebration, but as relief. Relief from pushing, relief from proving, relief from forcing timelines. You begin to notice that you are no longer exhausted in the same way. The weight shifts, even if it does not disappear yet. This is cooperation, God says. When you cooperate with me, I do not need to convince you. I begin to guide you. Guidance feels lighter than instruction. You stop asking why everything is slow, and you start asking what you are being shaped for. The question changes everything. You begin to notice subtle clarity, small insights, gentle confirmations, not loud signs, not dramatic moments, but steady awareness. This is how positioning works. It is not announced, it is realized. You start letting go without force. You release expectations quietly. You stop checking progress every moment. And that is when momentum quietly returns, not outward momentum yet, but internal stability, God says. Internal stability always comes before external movement. If I move you forward without it, you would break under inconsistency. So I build consistency first. You are learning how to stand without rushing, how to wait without despair, how to trust without guarantees. This is not delay. This is training, and training always feels repetitive, unremarkable, sometimes boring, until the moment it is needed. This matters later. Remember this phase. Because when doors open, you will not panic, you will not rush, you will not cling, you will walk with steadiness. This is what you are being prepared for, God says. I am teaching you how to move with me, not ahead of me, not behind me. This is why the noise had to quiet. This is why distractions lost their hold. You could not hear my guidance clearly until other voices softened. You are not losing passion. You are gaining focus. You are not losing motivation. You are gaining direction. The discomfort you felt earlier was the friction of realignment. Now the friction is easing, not because the season ended, but because you stopped fighting it. In the next part, I will show you what this positioning protects you from, and why looking back later you will be grateful for this exact timing. Do not leave yet. This understanding completes the picture, God says. There is something I have not shown you clearly yet, not because you are not ready to hear it, but because timing matters. What I am doing in this season is not only preparing you for what is coming, it is protecting you from what could have harmed you. You have been focused on what feels delayed, but you have not seen what was quietly avoided. There were paths you wanted, doors you prayed would open, opportunities you thought were right, and when they did not move, you felt confused, even disappointed. God says, some of those paths would have cost you your peace. Some of those doors would have drained your strength. Some of those opportunities would have pulled you out of alignment, but you could not see that at the time, so I did not explain it. I restrained you because explanation convinces the mind, but restraint protects the future. You were not ready to see the full weight of those outcomes, so I slowed you instead. This is what positioning does. It limits exposure. It reduces risk. It narrows focus, not because you are weak, but because what you carry is valuable. God says, I do not place fragile things in unsafe conditions. What you call restriction is actually preservation. There were relationships that would have distracted you, agreements that would have bound you, commitments that would have pulled you in too many directions, and if I allowed them to form, you would have spent years untangling yourself later. So I intervened early. This is why your season felt lonely at times. Distance was not punishment. It was insulation. I needed you to hear me clearly, without interference, and clarity requires space. You have been protected from burnout, protected from premature responsibility, protected from carrying expectations you were not meant to carry yet. This matters later. Remember this protection. Many people wish they had been slowed earlier, but by the time they realize it, the damage is already done. God says, I slowed you before harm could become habit. You are not behind others. You are ahead of pain you will never have to experience. This is why I ask you not to envy speed. Speed often hides cracks. What moves fast without foundation must eventually stop to repair. You are being built differently. Your strength is being layered. Your discernment is being sharpened. Your boundaries are being formed. These things do not develop in fast seasons. They develop in protected ones. You may not feel grateful yet, and that is okay. Gratitude often comes after understanding, but one day you will look back at this exact season and recognize how much was spared. God says, you did not lose time here. You gained safety, you gained clarity, you gained internal order, and that will allow you to move forward without chaos following you in the final part. I will bring all of this together and show you how to walk forward from here with peace instead of pressure. Stay with me. This is about to make sense. God says, now listen carefully, because this is where everything you have felt begins to make sense. You were never being pushed away. You were being pulled into alignment. You were never being corrected. You were being prepared, and you were never forgotten, even on the days it felt quiet, even on the days nothing moved. I was present in every pause. You mistook silence for absence, but silence was simply space being created, space for clarity, space for strength, space for discernment. I did not rush you, because rushing would have distorted what I was forming in you. You are not late to your life. You are not behind your calling, and you have not missed your moment. Timing is not measured by comparison. It is measured by readiness, and readiness is what I have been building in you quietly. You may not have seen progress on the outside, but inside, you have changed more than you realize. Your reactions are slower, your awareness is sharper, your boundaries are clearer. You no longer chase noise the same way. You no longer crave constant validation. You no longer panic at every pause. This is not weakness. This is maturity taking root. God says, what you are becoming required separation before elevation, separation from pressure, separation from distraction, separation from voices that would have confused you. This is why the road felt narrow. This is why your circle felt smaller. Not because you were losing people, but because you were gaining clarity. Clarity always reduces clutter. Now I ask you to release the final weight you have been carrying, the belief that something is wrong with you. That belief does not belong to you. It never did. You are not broken. You are not delayed, and you are not being punished. You are positioned. Positioned to move without panic. Positioned to choose without fear. Positioned to walk forward without needing to prove anything. This positioning will not announce itself loudly. It will reveal itself steadily. You will notice peace arriving before results, confidence forming before opportunity, clarity strengthening before direction becomes visible. This is how lasting things are built. God says, when movement begins again, you will not rush, you will not cling, you will not fear losing what you gain, because you will know where your footing is. You have been prepared to carry what is coming. Without losing yourself, this season was not about holding you back. It was about making sure you could move forward without collapse. Now hear this gently. You do not need to wait for permission to rest. You do not need to earn peace. Peace is already available to you in alignment. Stop rehearsing old doubts. Stop replaying imagined failures. Stop measuring your journey against someone else's timeline. Your path has always been precise. From this moment forward, walk without pressure. Move without anxiety. Wait without fear. When the next step appears, you will recognize it, because it will feel calm, not rushed. God says, I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will continue to guide you carefully. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Not the waiting, not the confusion, not the quiet nights. All of it has shaped you for what comes next. If this message settled something inside you, pause now. Let your breath slow. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind rest. And if you feel even a small sense of peace rising within you, that is confirmation. Type Amen in the comments, not out of habit, but as a quiet agreement between you and me. Stay connected. Return again. I am not finished speaking to you.